A World Health Organization-led team investigating the origins of the deadly COVID-19 pandemic have left their quarantine hotel to begin fieldwork 2 weeks after arriving in the Chinese city of Wuhan, where the virus emerged in 2019. The team, which worked by video conference while in quarantine, is led by Peter Ben Embarek, the World Health Organization's top expert on animal diseases that cross to other species, and is expected to remain in China for 2 more weeks. The team's detailed itinerary for their investigation in Wuhan has not yet been made public. The investigating team had been set to arrive in Wuhan earlier in January, and China's delay of their visit drew rare public criticism from the head of the World Health Organization, which former U.S. President Donald Trump accused of being China-centric early in the outbreak. And away from the pandemic, and here in Africa, Ghana's longest-serving leader, ex-President Jerry John Rawlings, was laid to rest on Wednesday. The remains of Mr. Rawlings was laid in state from Monday to Wednesday for Ghanaians and visitors to catch a glimpse and pay their last respects to a leader tagged by many as one of Africa's greatest. His funeral rituals were held under strict adherence to COVID-19 safety protocols. Mr. Rawlings died on November the 12th last year at the Kolibu Teaching Hospital in Accra after a short illness. He was credited with maintaining the country's stability. J.J. Rawlings, as he was fondly called, led a military regime for more than a decade before returning to Ghana to multi-party democracy in 1992. He also contributed to peace efforts in Liberia and Sierra Leone during the civil wars in the 90s. Jerry Rawlings will be remembered as a disciplinarian, but also as a leader who cared about the poor. Before his death, he was made an African Union envoy to Somalia. He was aged 73. A journalist with TV3 Ghana, Della Mitchell, joins me now to discuss the lives and times of former Ghanaian leader Jerry Rawlings. Good to have you join us, Della Mitchell.
Good to have you too.
As he's fondly called, he was called one of Africa's greatest, and he was buried yesterday. Talk to us about the mood now in Ghana, knowing that the former president of Ghana is forever gone.
I mean, it was quite moving when we got to know that, in fact, yesterday was the final day when he was laid to rest. The whole program started 4 days ago. It started from Sunday, where he was laid in state for the public viewing to begin on Monday. Then we saw the heads of states doing the public viewing on Tuesday, and then we saw the final public viewing, and of course, other heads of state who were invited to come into the country to do the viewing. And it was a solemn moment for us. In fact, from the day he was declared dead to when he was finally buried, it's been a very hard time for many Ghanaians, because what you expected is his tributes that keeps flowing on all media platforms, people's personal encounters with him, the nationals benefiting from him. So it was quite a solemn moment for us Ghanaians as we finally laid the first president of the Fourth Republic to rest. It was just unfortunate. Of course, Ghanaians couldn't just hold back. We were just sympathizing with the family and others who had actually had close contact with him or close relation with him. So the mood now, even though the burial took place yesterday, is quite the same. I mean, I think it's now really dawning on people that we've lost a great man like that.
He's largely credited for maintaining stability in Ghana and peace in some parts of Africa. Is that a context from which Ghanaians see him?
We've always known President Rawlings. Even I'm quite young, I grew up to hear many of the stories of President Rawlings right from when he was a flight lieutenant until the formation of the National Democratic Congress, which is the party that he formed in 1992, paving way for democracy in the country. And it's not just what he did for us, but the fact that it cannot be taken away that democracy was birthed right from his era. Even though he had an unsuccessful coup d'etat just some few months to the main elections, it did not take away the fact that this man contributed hugely to the democracy that we are enjoying today. And aside the democracy, he was also known for the June 4th revolution, which has been something that Ghanaians look forward to every single time, because around that moment, he comes and we call it what the bomb, the Rawlings bomb, where he drops something quite huge, as we would describe it, for leaders and Ghanaians to gradually dissect and get used to it. So he's been an amazing leader for those who actually were with him, who enjoyed his leadership, those who ruled with him. Of course, there are a lot of stories out there that some of the decisions he took currently has broken down some families, and they are still trying to repair that which was taken away from them. And I would say that this is one thing that whenever he had the opportunity to address the citizens, he starts by saying, most of the decisions that I took in the early years, even though were harsh, and they have left an indelible mark on families and even parts of the country, just know that these were decisions that they came in handy at a point in time, but he always sympathizes with the families that have been broken because of that. So he's been an incredible leader, not just only to Ghanaians, as you mentioned. In Togo, for instance, I must tell you that whilst Ghanaians were mourning him during the 4-day period, there was also a conference and many activities lined up by some Togolese calling themselves the Jerry John Rawlings Fan Club to also, commiserate with the family and with Ghanaians.
Absolutely. He does leave a long-lasting legacy for African leaders to emulate. Journalist with TV3 Ghana, Della Michelle, thanks for talking to us.